news to like talk about? Oh, this one. Bro, Injustice 3 got possibly leaked. Oh, man. Injustice 3 potentially leaked by multiple voice actors.
What?
Oh, Allah, astaghfirullah. What happened? So, apparently, George Newborn, the guy who did, the voice for Superman, both Injustice 1 and Injustice 2, he has claimed during like I think like a fan meetup at like a con that he told like a fan, oh, he's currently working on Injustice 3.
Bruh.
Brendan Bauer released a follow-up update. I gave the wrong impression here about this, but this isn't a leak or what I meant. I think I got caught up in the heat of the moment and was making a guess off of what he said. So, yeah, I guess so. You know, they're making another one. They're doing Injustice 3 and my heart started racing. Oh, shit. This might be like a conversation like in and of itself because like, man, yeah, like, Mortal Kombat 1 didn't do so hot. You know, all of, like, the WB-ness, like, activity involved and the bugs that plagued the first 3 months of the game. We talked about this, Chad, how, like, MK1 got, like, definitely, like, shafted. Definitely got shafted, right, when it came out. It was the talk of the town because of, like, you know, crazy Mortal Kombat gameplay. Although, like, cameos were, like, dicey 50-50. People wanted, like, legit characters, not, like, you know, secondary characters that are, like, off-screen. People either wanted, like, 1v1 or, like, some weird subgroup like me. Make it, like, tag-based Mortal Kombat. They have touched tag before, and that was, like, in MK9 when they had MK9 online, you know? Motherfuckers can do like tag team combos on you, right? Totally fine. But yeah, like, let's put into like a conversation, right? Like, you know, more rumors have been spreading about like a potential like, well, at least like these batch of like rumors, you know, about like a voice actor making a, not really a crack, but like an allusion to Injustice 3. Which, you know, in this year, it's like, the more I hear about like Injustice 3, the more it's starting to like, you know, slowly coming to existence. Like, you know, the phrase like, say a thing like too many times, it will eventually come into existence in reality. You know, like Beetlejuice, right? Say that dude 3 times, he will appear. What can we expect? Like, let's say we go on this, like, you know, rabbit hole. Let's go, like, draw up plans. Let's go draw up plans for, like, an Injustice, like, 3 game, right? So, okay, Injustice 3, like, let's go brainstorm this idea, right? Injustice 3 gets, like, announced. We see our usual dudes, like, Batman, Superman, and there's, like, Wonder Woman, Flash, Aquaman, things like that, right? Trailer is hype. It gets announced at, let's say, like, Summer Games Fest. No, not Summer Games Fest, right. What was it? Jeff Keighley Game Awards, something like that. Comes up on stage to present like a category, kind of like a joke, a meta joke of how he did like the MK11 teaser announcement. It's got foreboding music, Batman fights Superman, trailer like closes, and then there will be like an Injustice like event showing off like gameplay or stuff like that. My only concern with like Injustice would be like, yo, what's the gameplay gonna be like? That's the thing, because like Injustice 1, Injustice 2 are not really like grandiose games in terms of like combat. Right, there are some like, you know, diamonds like in the rough right, of Injustice combat. Most of like Injustice, especially, you know, accelerated like the meager like Injustice combat was in Injustice 2. Bitches were literally like firing full screen like projectiles. Like, I remember this, I forget where the source is from, but I remember this like statement was that Injustice 2 was not really about a game like, yo, a Bane versus a Black Canary or some shit like that. No, this is like, at its full potential, we just want characters to zone. Yeah, we want like Dr. Fate to do like his like, we want like Deadshot to do his like boom boom boom. They're literally like zoner games, right? Like, not like, you know, zone, not like, you know, like the Zuni kind of games, not like that cheap like baby talk or some shit like that. No, right? These games heavily are like games that yo, you're gonna play Injustice? Alright, what's my game plan? Zone. That's it, alright? Like, that's how you do good in Injustice games. Right? Right? And there are like, you know, abusable characters that can like, you know, do maybe somewhat like zoning, like block strings, like, you know, Aquaman can do like the multi-pitchfork of like Doom. Oh, you know, like that shit. There are some like characters that do like non-zoning material, but I hope like, you know, maybe if it's WB, right, they're gonna definitely put like the WB anus all over like that Injustice game, because WB owns like DC, right? So it's no use escaping like that, right? Also, there's like objectively, Kendrick Conroy passed away, right? So they're gonna have to find like someone who's Kevin Conroy like, or who's like the second best Batman voice there is that they could like clutch and like grab, right? But an Injustice game has never like done, you know, well. Like, it would do okay, but it's like, they're not the greatest like games, right? They're good like raw like comic book nerd appeal, right? Because these are Netherrealm dudes, the guys who made Mortal Kombat, making a all-out DC fighting game, right? Set under like the Injustice storyline, where that shit happened and Superman became a dictator. I never liked that, right? So if they're going with like an Injustice 3, they're gonna be hamming up that to like a T, right? What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen next? Superman gets like a mecha suit and becomes a hella megalomaniac, right? Or some shit like that. Some other entity, like maybe Darkseid. Maybe Darkseid fucks up the world and Batman and Superman enter a truce, right? Enter a truce once again or some shit like that. Or like the Dark Horse of like that. You know, Batman dies or Superman dies, right? It would just have to really charm me down to like, you know, gameplay, right? Like, and what I want from like Injustice, anything that would like, well, not anything, not to like really be desperate for like a monkey's paw sort of situation, right? I don't really want like an Injustice 2, because the last two Injustice games were not that great. Injustice 1 was a rough concept with like fugly ass fucking characters. Injustice 2 was WB to all hell, right? Although it's got like some cool characters, like the cool guest we got for Injustice was Hellboy, we got Raiden, we got Sub-Zero, we got the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in a DC game. That's really fucking awesome. But the fact that the game really played like ass Like, it was not that fun to play. It was not that fun. Everything like cost meter, right? It was like a precursor to what MK11 would be. This was like, this was kind of before. This was kind of like, you know, before, you know, the modernization of MK as like a whole, trying to appease to everybody. And this was like after MKX, where everything in MKX was like dialed up to 11 and was just super oppressive, you know. This was like the middle. This Injustice 2 was like the middle ground. Injustice 1 was like after the high horses of MK versus DC, where fans really wanted like a DC like fighting game. But dude, like, I don't know what they're gonna do with like an Injustice. Like, my possible, like, I want to see an Injustice 3. An Injustice 3, maybe have like tagging. Maybe have tagging. Because I think MK11 and Injustice 2 experimented with like, you know, 2 characters in like one screen and you had to like choose between like 2 characters. Yeah, maybe this will be like, okay, how about if we get Injustice 3 to have like a Marvel versus Capcom type of situation. Again, it would be like the oddball like type of answer for me, because it's the complete antithesis of what hardcore MK fans would want, is a 1v1 type of like experience, you know? MK fans have or MK as a whole has always been like 1v1, with the one exception of, I think, maybe MK9, or maybe some of like the earlier Mortal Kombats. I'm not like a big Mortal Kombat what was it, historian or veteran, like let's say PND Mustard and Ketchup, but guys, correct me in the comments, right, of this like video. Make it like tag based, you know, have free exploration of combos, get rid of like the clashing like system, because I didn't like the clashing in Injustice 1 and Injustice 2. Wage meter for like a rock, paper, scissors type of like element, or roll a dice roll, you know? Yeah, make it like tag, make it like not like MVCI, or make it like Marvel vs. Capcom like 1 to like that extreme. Although MVC1 had like, you get to pick like 2 characters and then you get like an assist or like a cameo, if they went into like that route, if they want to continue with cameos. But from what I got about the general population of like cameos is that not many people like cameos. Yeah, not many people liked cameos as like a whole. I didn't like them to like a degree as well, because like you're locking away some of the other fan favorites as just cameo characters. Like, I still remember to this day my boy James, you know, screaming up to the heavens like SpongeBob of saying, "I'm ugly and I'm proud. MK1 is a mistake. Why is Kano a cameo?" type of like shit. You know? Like, dude, why lock away some of these most fan-beloved like characters off as like a side character, like an assist character, like a Marvel vs. Capcom 1 type of situation, and not in any way, shape, or form like playable, you know? Like, if you're gonna experiment with like, you know, tagging, right? If you're gonna experiment with like assists and make Mortal Kombat, just go like all in. Don't be so cowardly, right? I think that's like what they were like testing out with like, you know, MK1. But yeah, like, oh cool, you can have like characters come on the screen to like help you out in like block strings. It makes like Mortal Kombat, to me as a whole, even though like I don't play it often, MK1, it makes the combat so fucking cool because you get to have an assist like helping you out. Imagine like the next Mortal Kombat game or the next Injustice game. Yeah, man. What I hope next to be like, you know, Injustice 3, so that it can potentially, you know, slightly like be successful. Well, we talked about like gameplay a little bit. Make it like tag, no clashing. Oh yeah, like maybe get rid of like the zoning, or like have like a penalty for zoning if you use it like a lot, right? Possibly like reduce damage or some shit like that, you know? Because chip damage was like really like high in certain cases for like Injustice 1 and Injustice 2. Zoning was definitely like egregious. Like it was not that fun, you know? Right, it definitely cemented you as the winner, but it's like it was not fun. Get rid of like the what was it, the gear system in MK2. Oh sorry, in Injustice 2. I know some people like that idea about having like gears to like customize like your character, but it was definitely like the WB's funk to it. Like you gotta grind so many hours just to get like this like Starfire hairstyle, you know, equipped only to Starfire, and it was only like a seasonal thing, you know. So it's a cool like concept, but like I don't know if it works well like in a fighting game per se. Have like the story mode, obviously, right? Don't have like the crypt. Oh no, you can have like the crypt, or maybe like do like a Street Fighter 6, have like a world tour sort of thing, or maybe like a Fatal Fury EOST, you know, like have like an immersive like the world of Gotham, the world of Metropolis, world of the Amazons, right? Have like a Street Fighter world tour, like you could venture throughout these worlds, throughout these different universes, these planets that you can visit like famous like heroes, you know, and you go through the Injustice journey, right? You go through the Injustice journey, you pick your side, right? You either on Batman's side or Superman's side, sort of thing. Have like characters that, of course, mainstays in the Injustice storyline. Also have like characters that people would be like really like jazzed about, you know. DC has a lot of like, you know, charm to them, so you can definitely like bring in some characters, some fan favorites like Lobo. Lobo is there. Keep all the very important characters, very like popular characters in an Injustice 3. In terms of like guests, of course there's gonna be like some Mortal Kombat isms, so bring in like, you know, new era characters, either like Liu Kang, or maybe like, yeah, they could definitely do like Liu Kang because he is the new god, even though he fucks shit up for worse. Other like comic characters, like they're not gonna do like Omni-Man again. Maybe they could do like Invincible, you know, because Omni-Man was definitely down to like, you know, kill people. Mark or the character Invincible would be totally fine. Already added TMNT, so maybe they could add like a Power Rangers like character. They could add like a Power Rangers character, because I think DC has crossed over with Power Rangers before. They already did Spawn, which was in Mortal Kombat 11, and he sucked. It would have to be like, you know, characters that are like really popping like in this era. I mean, like DC hasn't been able to catch a break since like, you know, the early days, it's always been about like Marvel. They could do something nutty and like bring in a Marvel character because before, like, you know, MK1, Netherrealm has been tinkering with the idea of like a Marvel versus like DC type of game. And it would be like the perfect, like, you know, poetic like irony that they could do some shit like that. Right? They could definitely do some shit about like adding, let's say, Spider-Man, or maybe like add like some of these like popular characters in there. Bucky and the Winter Soldier, or Bucky and the Winter Soldier, maybe like Deadpool and Wolverine or something like that, you know? That would be really that would be really interesting and a little bit on the nose of how meta it is, since, you know, Marvel versus DC was like a leaked like joke long time ago, and it would be super funny if it was like true. You know? Right? And above all, like, if you're gonna make like Injustice 3, have it be like free to play, right? Because, you know, today, like, in this economy, right, due to like, you know, what's going on in IRL news and like, you know, things like that, games are just like too expensive, you know? I mean, I got like Lost Soul Aside just like earlier today. I got it for like $50 considering of like, you know, pre-order bonuses and discounts and stuff like that, but games nowadays cost like $70 to $80 depending on like what console or what system you're buying it like for, right? Like for a Nintendo Switch, it's like $500 fucking dollars. And PlayStation prices are, you know, upticked now to like $500 to $550, I bet, right? So it's a lot of like, you know, the bullshit economy that's like it's going on right now, and fighting games, you know, I feel like should be free to play, but free to play done right? Like, fighting games are just like too big of an investment to, you know, just get into, unless you're really like into the genre and you're willing to spend that much of like moolah on. But again, some commenters like, that just means you aren't a fan of it. I'm like I said, you gotta learn to listen, right? Not that like you're not a die-hard fan of anything, but it's just like, dude, everything is like expensive now. From food to housing to luxury items, right? The most important thing you should be having is like food and housing and like health, right? You gotta take care of yourself, you gotta make sure everything is okay with you and stuff like that. Video games are like a commodity, right? Video games are a luxury item. And we can't like, not all of us have the spending ability to, you know, drop like $150 a pop for like every game that's like out right now, right? Like, it's just, jeez, bro. Jeez, astaghfirullah. You must be swimming in that like billionaire money that you could be able to say some shit like that. I'm like gonna buy everything, every fighting game, right? I mean, sure, that's cool, but like, unless you like it. Unless you like it. I don't know how many like games that I have like bought, like not like full price, but I just try to like grab like a snag. Most of the time I bought fighting games at full price. Most of them I don't play, right? They're just sitting there like collecting dust. When was the last time I played fucking DNF Duel?
Bruh.
When was the last time I played DNF Duel? Probably back in like 2023 or 2022 even. That was when the game was like popping off, until like the miscommunication, the mismanagement of the game happened, and DNF Duel shrunk down, and it only had like one season pass, and after that season pass, dead. Bought like $50 a game. Cheap price back then, but still though, $50 for an anime game like this. What's the store page for Hunter x Hunter Net Impact? $60 for a basura-esque type of like game.
Bruh.
And I know my boy Frank has it because he does love basura type shit. Love you, Frank. But would anybody else like get this? Amongst like the mixed reviews and all reviews of Hunter x Hunter Net Impact? Oh, hell no. For a game to be like, you know, that expensive? I don't know, man. I don't know. I'd rather like maybe like do this model for fighting games, right? Just make it like free to play, right? There are some cases where free to play, you know, doesn't exactly like work. The best model for it are like, you know, first person shooters maybe. Like Marvel Rivals, or third person shooters like Marvel Rivals is definitely free to play. And you know how much bullshit they have to go through to make it more accessible to like the audience? Like, damn, man, they try so hard to grab as much people to the Marvel Rivals community as they can. They even have college discount perks. Imagine that, like college discount perks for Marvel Rivals on skins. Every hero is free, but you know, people like costumes, people like, you know, exotic skins they want to wear to like teabag on people, you know. College packs, college service packs they can give to like students that are in college and are playing Marvel Rivals despite like taking 5 to 6 classes per week. They should make like Injustice free to play, you know? They should make like the game accessible and a lot very appealing, right? But the only problem with that is that it's WB to all hell, right? They fucked up like MK1 via like you have to pay for fatalities. Like as one example, like bro, why would I pay for a fucking fatality? Skins maybe because you know skins are like, or costumes, Street Fighter like does it, and you have to pay like an arm and a leg for an exclusive like third costume or fourth costume, right? So fucking fatality. But it's WB-ness. They find some shit to like fuck up at like the behest of the consumer. Everything is gonna be like, you know, paid for. Some like scum sucking like tactic they'll do to make Injustice 3 like, alright, you have to pay like $20 for this like service. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? You mean I can't go to like settings to change the graphic setting? Nope. Costs $10 to change a setting per. Could already imagine them like doing shit like that. But that would be like my vision for Injustice 3, right? That would be like my vision.